as we were discussing in the lovely short, when you have your inner child in the forefront as a grown-up, and I know the cards aren't showing well, but when you have the ability to have your emotions in the forefront, all of those child parts, and you're the grown-up, you're not charged. And that's why it makes a huge difference, and that's why an actual divine feminine of an oversoul doesn't have sagas with any of their oversoul members. Twin flame, flames, everything that you hear in the 4D collective is for the 4D collective. So they don't have the capacity to use their prefrontal cortex. If they did, they would have emotional accountability, maturity, and the ability to do self-regulation skills. Okay, so grown-ups, I still have my 0-1-year-old, my 3-year-old, my shame submissive is the 3 to 7, the 0-1 is attached panicky, freeze of all ages, flight 11-12, and 14-15-16 is fight. So technically when I meet Cuscos out there, I'm meeting the fight response. In fact, it's always very clear because they're unkind to humanity overall. They have drama leading the way, the hypervigilance, and the projection that I've learned how to use some examples from our lovely Patrick Tiahan, childhood trauma survivor. He's healed. I always say healing, and he's a therapist. And 2 examples that he gives of what projection is like is a person walking into the supermarket and essentially some cashier person looking at them, and the person who has insecure emotional stuff going on says to the friend, look at that bitch, they looked at me weird, I think they're the, and so there's your teenage number one. Another one is while you're in the shower getting ready to go to work, you think, if that dude looks at me one more time, I'm going to beat him up. And I laughed when I saw that because I'm like, wow, I think I know a lot of adaptive children. So the adaptive child, thank you to Ariel, is when a person makes any type of interaction about their self. And in fact, they're already leading with their left mode. And they are saying inside already with a charge, like a 3-year-old with a teenager though, that fight, I'm right and they're wrong. And I've met people like this. It's very humorous to grown-up who has a 1-year-old though, because I have fun, because I have that lovely. So here's where 5D Mystic in the Enlightenment Soul Age group is an actual functional adult, is an actual integrated brain. So you're going to hear me say actual because I know a lot of people use words. So when you see it embodied, emotional maturity, and you're that 0-1-year-old, the freedom is really yours. It's so amazing. So Krishna Lila, when you know who Krishna Lila is, I learned it from Sadhguru. He explores the depths of the profound with playfulness. When you learn from your therapist people, I'm attachment trauma informed, that our 3-year-old is all of that gooey, ooey, ooey, and it's like our full energy body, and then you say, wait a minute, that was, yeah, one of my number one favorite childhood memory. I got a hypnotherapy session. It's my 3-year-old. I'll never forget that day because I just lost like full capacity of my mouth. I was in my brain as meditating style, and literally I was like, I can't speak words. I can feel all the energy, and I'm a Reiki master, so I knew what I was feeling. I was like, wow, this is really amazing. And I channel guidance, and I do Akashic record readings and tarot, so I know all about Akash. And I'm in my brain in a hypnotherapy session, and I'm like, dude, this is amazing. This is amazing. So long story short, let me get back to our topic, though. The divine feminine has no questions about our oversoul. In fact, we'll already know that all of the pieces of our puzzle fit really, really great. But I have to thank Mom. I need to keep thanking her because she's the one who gave me the body that has a secure attachment. So while other people don't know what it's like to actually be able to just be silly, I do. Like an actual child. And then I have fun because I didn't have a rupture with humanity. So let me use some tangible examples as we finish kind of closing circles. I don't close circles that much, but so Patrick Tiahan, childhood trauma survivor, healed and healing therapist. He talks about how to handle people who don't take well, that you're on a good therapy journey for yourself, and that's because you're reparenting yourself. So people who are feeling like they're in trouble, they actually have a whole different experience. Their first year of life, and those first 3 are all implicit memories. So the shame cycle is what you'll see people have, which is why we got 4D Collective creating a saga out of the twin flame stuff. So they actually could use yoga to get into alignment, but really what it is that yoga works your ventral vagal nervous system, and sitting in silence with the meditation helps to work integration of the brain, and it works the parts of the brain that are affected by childhood developmental trauma, for example. So no demon comes out of you. But the people who think that it's because they don't have attachment or trauma informed in the background, and even if you tell them, hey, do you know Peter Levine? You really should know that he shares with us how trauma, memory, and charges are stored in the muscles, bones, and tissues. But I know you won't believe me, but then again, I'm not a flat earther. I am woo-woo pseudoscience, though, because I bring together human, spiritual, and spirituality elements. So when you meet people who are teenagers of themselves as a grown-up, yeah, this one's fun. So I meet people all the time. I love when they interrupt me because I'm a 3-year-old too, right? So I know when a 3-year-old's interrupting me, because by the third time where I'm trying to correct what they're trying to correct while I was speaking and they were not involved in it, I now know that I'm going to give you the floor so that you may tell me, and this is where the right silence, oh, I love this one. The right silence, a divine feminine, will shut down completely, because I'm now humored with Krishna Lila, because I'm curious, open, accepting, and loving of you. Thanks, Daniel Siegel. I'm present in my brain, and I'm waiting to hear what you want to tell me, adaptive child, so that I can continue conversing the way I was. Okay, so this is the part of where I switch us back to an emotion. It moves through you and I in 90 seconds. And if you want to actually read a good article on that explaining it, you're going to find it on Parent and Family Wellness Center, okay? Now, with Patrick Tiahan, I use him as a name because anyone who feels they might have childhood trauma can go get awareness. Also, you can share awareness, and you can know of people who are doing a great job at helping people to not date beneath themselves. So to understand that Reiki, I'm a Reiki master, isn't going to heal you from your shame cycle. The inner critic, outer critic, the fucking, the drugging, the alcoholing, and whatever self-soothing mechanisms that you will have. But really the codependent type relationship is quite the consistent of any human being who doesn't know how to believe in their self. Thanks, Mom, like I do. I have a whole 3-year-old heart. You can't change me. You won't change me. In fact, to this day, I will argue about the whole change thing, because the essence of me, that 3-year-old, the hypnotherapy session, the charge parts, going back and remembering, and then having Sadhguru talk about how your energy body doesn't ever have to change, and knowing how to explain it humanly. So enlightenment the human way, aka your restorative embodied self, my restorative embodied self, your integration of the brain capacity, my integration of the brain capacity. If you have secure attachment, then you will have access to your emotional plane, which is why you can do emotionally accountable and mature decisions a lot easier than those who do not have secure attachment in their first year of life. Now, once you get to 3, here's where we got shame. If you don't have the repairing of ruptures, that's where a shame cycle can begin. And then some of us, we just stay differentiated. Why? Thank you, Gabor Mate, because we get lovingly accepted. We don't have to work for love, and we get to express all of those basic emotions. Thanks, Mom. And so we're not humiliated or shamed when we're acting like complete goofs. Okay, so I have a great relationship with my emotions, which is why I'm going to read to you now. Emotions are fun for those of us who use our prefrontal cortex. That means we're live and in the present and in the now. Curious, open, accepting, and loving. The present, in the now. And that is where I'm also in my social engagement system, the ventral vagal. So I feel confident, secure in my body, and I'm able to be there, and I'm in a neutral body because I literally have no beef with whatever you're doing, because your 3-year-old and my 3-year-old aren't in competition, because I have actual self-empowerment. And it's meaning, thanks Terry Real, that I'm not superior and inferior to you. But furthermore, inside my body, I feel love. I'm not upset at you for being a person who doesn't understand what it means to have a subjective experience, and for you not to know what a functional adult is. People who complain about feelings, here's what they do. Rumination and using the limbic system has emotions, lasts longer, creates a biochemistry of fear. And this is why people feel that when you're sad, it's tragic. And they actually will compare emotions to like the depth of the ocean of the seas that's just not letting them get out of saga and drama. For IHP, we talk about how you can be in the inner growth mindset. Use your mammalian heritage. It's easy for those who choose to do emotional maturity, emotional accountability, the Pacha handshake. So we treat you with kindness, even if you treat us with unkindness. And in fact, a whole 3-year-old heart and a divine feminine knows that you're human, which is why we will not treat you in a way that you will have been treated, which, as Patrick Tiahan says, people regret once they get to their whole adult self, because we're all whole 3-year-old hearts. Humanity is love, and love is unconditional. Tune in for more, and have a great day.